Hello, Tim from Baldy Tim's Reviews here, and we've reached a really exciting point of the bedroom refurb that I'm currently doing. Today we are going to be changing the window. So I've got the brand new window, arrived yesterday. That's the old one still in, so I'm going to take that one out, put the new one in, make good, and hopefully I'm going to be able to sort of do it all just today. So we will see how it goes. I'll tell you a bit later on all about the window, where I got it from, how much it cost me, and hopefully give you a few pointers how to change a double glazed window like this here in the UK. So keep on watching and we will be making a start very shortly. So to start with, I think obviously we've got to deglaze the entire frame, which just make the frame a lot lighter obviously to get out. So I think what I'm going to start by doing is removing the entire openers, frame and glass and everything on that one and that one. That fixed pane here, I'm going to have to just remove on its own. So I'll show you how to deglaze a window totally out of a double glazed frame unit. So but I'll start off with these openers here. The only thing with these old fashioned ones is they're actually sort of glazed from the outside, so I've got to get a ladder up on the outside, but that's okay because a lot of the deinstallation of this one and the new installation has to be done from outside anyway. So I'll be getting out the ladder later on and showing you that. But let's start off by getting rid of these two openers. So these openers are held in by their hinges, which are attached to the frame with 3 screws. There's one here, here and here. They look like they're a bit rusted in, so hopefully I'll be able to get them out without too much problem. Oh no, that one's not playing ball. Oh, that's not a good start. They're totally rusted and seized in. Right, I have to have a change of plan with that one because they are totally seized in. So I might just deglaze them after all. Let's just see if I can get this top one out. Yeah, those screws don't look as rusted in, so at least I can get this one out, I think. Yep, there we go. Was that second screw on there? Was it only, only held in by 2 screws, that one? Okay, it's only held in with 2 screws now, so this is where I'm going to sort of start making sure I take the weight of it a little bit. So let's see what we can do there. Right, so that's just held by 1 screw now. Yeah, if you get it on that end. So I'm going to get my helper to go on to the end there to hold that side. So it's going to be quite heavy. I'm going to hold it this side. Oh God, bloody screws. Oh, I think I'll so I actually succeeded in pushing that one in a bit. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, I've got it. Let go. That's it. Right. So that's one sealed unit off, or opener off. So to start the deglazing process, what you have to do is take out these little strips of rubber here all the way around, because what you can then do is push the glass back this way, which then allows the external beading to loosen off just enough to get those out, and then you can get the glass out. So start off by doing that, and what I normally do is just get some long-nosed pliers, grab these little bits of rubber here and then just pull them off. So let's just, yeah, that's coming off quite easy. And we do all four edges. Right, that's those four out. So just do the same with this big window. I'll just let you have that. Okay, so that's those ripped out, and if all you're doing is replacing the sealed units and not the whole window, you need to be a little bit more careful with how you take these out. Don't do it like that because you need to reuse them, but as the whole window is going to be new, these can just be thrown out. So that is ready to go. So what I'm going to try and do is see if I can deglaze these from inside, because the less work I can do up the ladder, the better, really. So let's just see if I can push this unit in. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and what we're going to need to do is get onto the glazing outside, or the beading outside, and try and prise those off. Okay, let's see if I can get these strips off from outside. No, I have to get a scraper rather than a screwdriver, it's too... So that was a struggle getting the first one off, so that is what kind of holds the glass in from outside, one of these strips. But they kind of hook in, so they've got these basically sort of hook sections here which hook onto the actual frame. So when things are old, it can be very awkward to get a start getting them out. But I've got 3 more to do. And then after that, hopefully this pane of glass will come out for us. That's it. Right, okay. So that's 3 out of the 4 kind of strips out from outside. And I was able to do it all from inside. So all we've got to do now is just lift this pane. Hopefully I can sort of lift it up and out and then back in through. Oh, there it is. Absolutely heavy thing, so got to be careful with the old back. Okay, so that's deglazed, that's deglazed. Got a couple of spaces here. I'm going to keep these. I have got some new ones, but just in case I haven't got enough, I'll show you what happens with those a lot later on. So I'm going to just deglaze the opener as well, which is exactly the same process, so I won't bother filming that. Right, so we're totally deglazed now, so nothing in there, nothing in that one, nothing in that one. So we've just got the frame left. Now those sort of panes weren't the easiest to get out. In fact, they're right sort of sods to get out, and took a bit longer than I thought. And this opener here, the one where the screws had sort of rusted in, I could get the top ones out, they weren't so rusted, but in the end I just had to hacksaw the hinge just to get that one off. But that's done. So The next thing is I've just got to get the silicone out, so both inside and outside, with Stanley knife. So what we do, I'll just show you, just run along that there. It comes out quite easily. I did actually take most of the inside stuff out when I was preparing the room in the previous video, so it's just that little bit inside, but there is silicone like this on the outside as well, so I will just get that out as well. Same process with the old Stanley knife. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just get some screws out. So normally they're top, bottom and both sides, but looks like this one's just held in by one up there, one in the middle, none in the bottom. And on this side there's 1, 2, 3. So what we'll do is just try and get those out. So with my trusty drill driver, just go in there, and luckily they've unscrewed quite quickly and easily, and yeah, just held in by these long screws like that. So I'll just do the other 4, and then that should be the frame more or less ready to come out. Okay, right, so the frame is loosened, it's just about ready to come out. So what we're going to do is tilt it forward. That's it. And then if you just grab the bottom there, and we're going to sort of angle it and bring it back in. Hold it. That's it. Right. Oh, what's that? Right. Right. I'll hold it while you get down the other end, and then we'll carry it out. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what. Yeah. I could probably hand it down to you if you go down to the bottom. I'll just hand it to the back, and then I'll just hand it down. Might be easier than carrying it through the whole house. Right. So they're not actually too heavy, these things. Yeah, I can just lift it with one hand, the whole thing. Yeah, it's not that heavy, I can lift it with one hand. Got him? Yeah. Now that frame, those screws in the frame actually came out a lot easier than the windows or actual panes did. That just came out in about 10 minutes, right? Whereas it took about half an hour to get the sort of window panes themselves out. So the next thing to do, there's a lot of crud on the actual sort of brickwork there, like old silicone. So I'm going to spend a little while cleaning that off, and then a nice sweep down, clean up, and then we can start thinking about getting the new frame in. So that is the whole window out. And we've also cleaned up all around the edges, so that's all nice and clean all the way down there. And all the way along there and up, all nice and clean. Now, fixing the new one's going to be interesting because there's absolutely nothing to fix to at the top. Apart from just that very thin bit of PVC for the soffit board there, and a lot of this, we can't quite see it quite so well this side, but this side, a lot of this brickwork's a bit crumbly as well. So I'm going to, fixing this is going to be interesting. So I've actually sort of put some marks in pencil where it looks like the best fixing points are going to be. Not too bad at the bottom. All this brick looks very, very solid, so at least the bottom should be fine. And I've got a couple of more marks there. So I'm probably going to be putting one there, and one there. That's probably why the last guy didn't put any right at the bottom, because it's all really, really crumbly there. But anyway, time to get the new window and get it in. Okay, that is the sill in. It's actually just sitting there at the moment, so I'd rather not fix it on its own. I'd rather kind of, because what you're supposed to do is you fix the bottom of the window and the sill at the same time. But yeah, the new sill is in there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just get the window in. Now the old one came out just by kind of twisting it and then pulling it back through the aperture. So I'm hoping we can do the same with the new one. Just pop it through, twist it around and then bring it back into place. It just literally sits on the sill that you saw a minute ago. So yeah, this is the moment of truth to see if our measuring was accurate. Because when you do a DIY installation, any miscalculations on the measurement is down to you, not the double glazing company. So it might prove to be a very expensive mistake, but let's just see what occurs. Right, so I'll get on the end of it, this end. So what we're going to do is kind of go out and then sort of flip it around and then pull it back, hopefully into place. So we need to go horizontal with it. Alright, just set it there for a sec.
We'll sort ourselves out.
Alright, so all the way out with it. And then bring your end around. Hold it internally, not externally.
This stuff is...
Oh, yeah, push it through. And the top. Alright, doesn't seem to be going in like it should be this side for some reason. It's gone nice and flush there, but it's kicked out this side a bit. I can't see why really. Oh, probably because of...
When you bring that back, because my fingers are there.
Yeah, I'll pull them out of anything like that.
Because every time you move that one,
Oh no, that's all right.
this comes out.
I think it's just a very big gap. Right. So it won't stay in place, will it? It'll probably go, yeah. Right, so what we've got to do is I'm going to fix it here and that side. So you're going to have to hold it for a minute, for a little while. I've got to go and get some stuff. Okay. But yeah, it's actually gone in pretty nicely. So must have been accurate measuring. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fix it sort of with two screws, about one there and sort of one about there, and then that will just hold the whole lot in. So I've just got to go and get some tools. So you all right there, just holding that for a minute?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm just going to come around this side, just make sure we're level. Make sure we're level. Oh, it's bang on. Which is probably not too surprising because it's going on to sort of really flat brickwork. Yeah, it's bang on, isn't it?
Yeah. Happy days.
Right, so got to drill some holes. So you said to drill 3 mil holes first of all. So let's see where I'm going to drill them.
Oh yeah, sorry, I can't.
So
Put it nearer in, I guess.
So I'm going to put a,
Is it near enough?
so that's that. Sorry, I'm just going to open this.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
Oh, crikey.
So make sure you hold it. Right, so that's gone through the body of the actual frame. So we've got to drill into the brickwork now, which I'm going to do with my other drill, big SDS drill. And I've got a brand new 6.5mm bit here. There we go. Get it out of that thing. That just slips in there. So ready to drill a couple of holes into the brickwork. Right, so these bolts here, we've got a little kind of Torx fit in there, and they just screw straight into the brickwork. You don't have to put any plugs on it. Hopefully this will go in. Sometimes these go in nice and easily, and sometimes they go in like a bastard. So no. Oh, it's gone in beautiful. That's that thing. Right, so just do that side. Right, probably shouldn't have to hold it now. Well, probably not. No, I'm just going to do a few more screws. So I'm going to do probably 3 along the bottom, another 2 each down each side, and that's it really. And then it's glazing up, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then siliconing around the side. Right, okay. I don't know if you want to get the
Shall I do the coffee?
teas and coffee. Teas and coffees, yay!
Yay!
So yeah, the window is basically in, so you can see everything's sort of nice and level. I've also checked at the top, the sides for plumbness as well. And yeah, everything's bang on. So that is fantastic news. So you can see that they're the sort of bolts you screw in. You literally just drill the right size hole, 6.5mm, and then they just screw, basically bite straight into the brickwork. You don't need any kind of raw plugs or anything like that, wall plugs, raw plugs, anything like that. So I've just got literally one that side and one that side. So I'm going to put another couple in on the verticals, top and bottom, and then probably 3 along the bottom. Right, so just going to get the rest of these bolts in, drill all the holes with my 6.5mm SDS bit. So yeah, let's get drilling. So just if you want to come over the camera. So that's just drill that. That's that one, and then I'll do the bottom ones. One. Didn't seem to go into very much, that one. When I drill it. Right, so I think I'll fit those bolts that I've just drilled before going any further. So it just gets so yeah, that's the sort of type of tool you need, these sort of star bits, Torx I think they're called. Right, so I'm going to do this top one here. I don't know if you want to come round.
I will come round.
So what I do is put that in. So that's kicking away from there just because of the weight of the window that's open. It's got to be open in order to do this. So I've got to pull it back. And straight in like that. Right, so that's all in nicely. Yeah, it's a bit uneven around here, but that's what the old silicone and caulking is for, really, just to even that up. So I think I'll do the bottom ones now. So you don't want to go too tight with these because you don't want to distort the frame at all. So that is fine, that's going to clear that nicely. So that is perfectly fine. Right, and put another one in here. Oops. Jesus. Don't think so. Right, so just drill these last 2 holes. That's that one, and drill that one. That's not working very well.
It's a bit of a jaunty angle, that one.
Yeah.
That's better.
That'll do. 2 more bolts. Seems to have kicked out at the bottom there actually a bit. I'll put this top one in. Alright, take that one out. See what's going on here. It's not too bad. Oh, there it is.
Do I need to hold it?
Hopefully not. So you can see how easily those just go in. And put that one back in. Right.
Nice.
So that is basically got 3 down that side, 3 along the bottom, 3 up that side, and it's still a bit wobbly here. There's not a lot I can do about that really, because well, I might be able to put a couple of holes. Well, I might be able to just put a couple of normal wood screws in those just to hold it, because everything's secure apart from that, and it will be held by the silicone and caulking when that's in anyway. But yeah, I'd rather just fix that. So let me go and get some proper screws or some other screws and see if I can sort that out. So there we go, that is the new window frame in, fixed there. I've actually sort of fixed it to the top there as well, so it's yeah, if I press on it, it's not moving out at the top there anymore. And fixed down there as well, and along the bottom. And of course these fixing screws here hold the windowsill into place as well, so that's rock solid now. As I say, it will be a lot more solid still once all the silicone and caulk's in around the edges. But before I do that, we're going to have a little bit of a clean up and then put the actual glass in. So I'll show you how that happens as well a bit later on. Right, so time to put some glass in, and then we're getting towards the end of the job. So if you want to just come here, I'll show you. So before you put the glass in, it's very important to put these spaces here, because it just stands the sealed units just off the bottom. Because if you get water in here, it can drain away. There's some little holes, sort of right, you know, there's a few of them along here, and the water can sort of drain out past those. And then it just saves the sealed units from sitting in any water as well, and just makes them last a bit longer. So without any further ado, I'm just going to get the first bit of glass in here now. Right, so we still rolling?
Yeah, rolling.
Right, just up it comes. These are very, very heavy. So you just bottom in first, sit it on those spaces. Yeah, that's in there nicely now. So just slide it so it's nice and central, got an even gap down either side. And then we'll just get our top bit of moulding, and you can see there's a weather sealing bit there, and then there's another, that side it's got no weather seal and that side's got a weather seal. So weather seal goes against the glass, so that way, and these should just literally pop into place, hopefully. Okay, so these were a bit tricky to do, but I think I've worked it out. You just sort of you got to really press it in tight. So, do. Same problem with this one, it's just not going in nicely. So we've got the other two panes are in now, just doing this last one. And if you look at this gap here, that's quite close. But if I push the window up, it widens out a lot. Well, you've got to actually kind of put spaces into that gap. And also, so put that in there, and also one on the top. I think that top one might just need another one as well, just a thin one. Oh, maybe a bit thicker than that one. If I can ever get it in there. And what that's going to do is just make sure that the window closes nicely. So otherwise it kind of, the whole frame will drop, but that kind of braces it, you see. Right, so we've got our spacers in there, so I'm just going to put a bit of silicone just on those, just to hold them into place so they never kind of slip down out of place. Probably don't really need to do the horizontal one, but that'll be fine. Right, so put in our little glazing pieces. So these are actually quite tough to do because they need a fair old bit of force to push in. And luckily I've got a glazing hammer, so you can just bash them into place like so. Go to this side. So got them in there and there, so I just got to work my way along with the hammer. And you have to give it a good old bash actually. I was doing it far too softly before and having all sorts of problems. So I'm going to just, but luckily I've got this, which is a special glazing hammer. Don't use a normal metal hammer. And let's just bash it in. That's it, so that's that one in. I'll put the bottom one in, and then the bottom one can go in. So just try not, I like to slide it in there just to get it sort of started. That's it. So that's really in there. Oh, didn't help that thing's in the way. That's going in. I'll do that end. Ooh. There you go, so that's all in. So do the first side, which is that one I braced. So I put that up there. That's it. So that's that side in. And the last bit of strip here onto this side. Push it right up there at the top. That is it.
Nice.
So hopefully that seems to be sort of properly braced as well. Yeah. So yeah, that seems to be opening and shutting nicely thanks to that sort of bracing I've just done. And that one. That doesn't need bracing like I showed you because it's sort of a horizontal one, so the weight just drops down evenly, whereas when you hinge on the side it kind of drops down on the non-hinged side, which is why you've got to brace it. Same principle as the diagonal braces you see on the back of gates. So that's basically what you're doing. So yeah, I think we are just about all in there. So what we've got to do now is just seal up round the edges both inside and outside, and that is the job done. So inside I'll use decorator's cork, outside I'll use silicone sealant. Reason why I'm using decorator's cork inside is because it's easier to paint onto. If you can't really paint onto silicone and get a nice sharp line of paint, because silicone doesn't hold paint, so it goes all sort of weird, which is the reason why I'm not just doing both things both sides, just one thing both sides. So that's it. Right. So what I'm going to do is just put the decorator's cork, got plenty of that, to go around all the way around the edges. There's a few bits which are just a bit too big for this, so I'll just do it roughly around those bits, and then they'll have to be filled with the filler I've got. But I can go around about, looks like about sort of 90% with this stuff. I've already been outside and done the siliconene round the outside of the window. I'm just going to do a bit of finishing off because I ran out of silicone. Luckily, the whole job, the only ladder work I had to do was just the siliconene. The whole of the rest of the installation we were able to do from inside, both getting the old window out and putting a new one in. So really pleased about that, because if I can do as little as possible on a ladder, it's always good news. But anyway, let's get some of this cork on here. So I'm just going to go all the way around the edges. Down we come. I think I will go up on come and do these bits as well. Right, yeah, I just need one finger, and down you go.
Rolling.
Rolling, just sound
Testing,
check, sound
testing.
check, yeah, okay.
Little mouse hole there.
Yeah. Okay, so that is all corked in. There is a little bit of filling to do yet, and probably a little bit more caulking. Got a bit of a hole down there, but that's a filler job. I'll be doing that at a later stage, won't do that today. That's kind of no big deal. And yeah, this window board, windowsill needs a bit of a sand down and then probably a bit more caulking. But yeah, apart from that, we are all in. So I'll probably just go around the edges, both inside and outside, when this lot's dry, just to make it 100% nice. But apart from that, we're just about done. So that is a new window for you. So opens nicely, and this one, which we haven't been able to open for, well, about a year, is now open again, openable again. Very nice. So that is that window, brand new window in. The whole job from start to finish took us, well, I think we started at 9:30 and it's now 1:30, so it took us 4 hours. And if you're a professional window installer, you'll be laughing at that, because it probably takes them about half an hour to an hour to do a window like this. But I don't think it's too bad for a pair of DIYers. So the complete new window frame's in, the new windowsill, as you saw outside, is in, the outer one, and all the new glazing is in place. So just got a little bit of finishing off. As I say, that hole there behind me that you can probably see in the corner, that needs a fill, and then just a tiny bit more making good. But I'm not doing that today. That'll be kind of part and parcel of the continued decorating job. So yeah, really pleased how that's gone. The window's gone in really nicely. Now, what we did is we found a local window manufacturer. They're all over the place, so chances are you've probably got local ones as well. You just need to get onto Google and do a bit of searching. I actually found this lot when we were just out and about on a cycle ride, actually, one Sunday, and got their number and rang them up, and we had to measure the window size. Basically all you do is you measure from brick to brick, so from the brickwork one side to the other side, and top to bottom as well, from the brickwork or whatever at the top down to the brickwork under where the sill goes. Now you've got to be very careful how you do that. Obviously the old adage of measure twice, cut once comes into play there, so just make 100% sure, double check your measurements are correct, and then all you need to do is just ring them through to your sort of local window manufacturer, and they kind of just allow for a bit of tolerance off of your measurements and make up the window for you. Obviously you have to tell them the style you want. Yeah, this is the style we wanted. Opener here, top opener there, and then the sort of fixed pane there, exactly how the old one was. I just took a picture of that and sent it through to them, and then they came up with a quote, and sort of I then placed the order because it was a pretty good quote. Come on to that in a minute. It took them about a week to make the window up, and they dropped it around to us yesterday and installed today. So cost wise, I think it was about £360 altogether for the whole new window, the new window frame and all the glass, the new sealed units that have gone into the frame. And they even sort of threw in the spacers and the fixing bolts as well. So, you know, £360, certainly a lot cheaper than what the likes of your big sort of window suppliers would do it, you know, your Everests of this world and all the rest of it. It's very, very cheap indeed, and yeah, it feels like it's good quality, so hopefully last us another 30 years like the old one did. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it really illuminating. Oh, just before I sign off, there was a couple of other expenses. The drill bit, the 6.5mm drill bit, you saw me drilling the holes to get those fixing bolts in. I had to get that plus some silicone. I need to get a bit more silicone actually as well for outside. So we're probably looking at about another £25 all in for that lot. So yeah, the whole job was about £385. So pretty pleased with that. Not bad for a complete new window, and 4 hours of our time to install it. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found this video very enlightening, and hope it encourages you to do your own sort of DIY sort of window replacements if you want to do that in the future. Obviously you do need to be a bit careful both on measurements and various health and safety issues on installing a window, but it's, yeah, if you're a competent DIYer, it should be well within your capabilities. So that's been another Baldy Tim's Reviews. Thanks for watching.